Welcome screen. Of course, January 2025. Hope you guys enjoying the snow, especially if you live in the Gulf Coast here. In the compliance stream, of course, we have a field in SkyBidge called chemical stream. And when you filter for it, you can filter for a chemical stream or stream description. But this is where it's located actually in the share my screen. Yeah. It's under configuration, and then you get chemical streams and then stream names. Of course, you get the peer chemicals up here. That's the next one here. These are all the peer chemicals that come with SkyBridge. And when you open one up, you'll see all the information associated with the peer chemicals. Now, these peer chemicals will make up your stream if you speciate it. If not, you can just have a stream name, and that's sufficient for adding a component in SkyBridge. You have to have a stream name now. You can have unknown or the actual stream name. But these are the peer chemicals that you're going to utilize to populate your streams with by weight percent. And as you can see, I clicked on one here and it was already in the database, and it has all the information here for it. Now, if you do have one that you need to add, you would actually research, find the CAS number, put the chemical name, response factor, and you can check any of these boxes that relevant to it, and that should be sufficient to add it to a stream. Okay. These are the chemical stream table here, and it shows you all the streams, and also it has the stream names. It has the whether you can edit or delete it, but I'll show you how to do all that. But that's the basic things that we're going to cover in this little enlightenment. It is basically where the stream is found on the actual component. It's on this is the component section, stream information, and there's the component stream there. You'll find it there. And if you need to edit it at any time, you can always go and click the pick list, and it will actually give you a different selection, and you can do that. But what I want to do this afternoon is actually create one, speciate it, and then associate it with the components that's relevant to it. Okay, so let's get started with that. Any questions, you can just post them in the question box. That'd be great. Response factor is the question response factor. That's how it responds to the chemicals. So, say for instance, how long it take to respond to a when you hit it with a TVA. Normally, it takes like 4 seconds to respond to that chemical. So that's the response factor. Now, there are some response factors I'm going to show you in when you set up the chemical stream, but I'll show you how that works too. Good question. All right. Let's see. So this is the database here, and what I want to do is just set up a stream first of all. So I'm going to go into configuration, but I just want to take a look at the chemical names that's in SkyBridge. Now these come by default, right? And it is a lot of them. And as you can see, it's just pretty much all the peer chemicals that's out there is pretty much represented here. Okay. So it's very rare that you have to go and create your own, but if you do, there's the plus sign right here. Again, you put your CAS number, you research that CAS number, put the chemical name, the response factor, and these are some other options here. Ozone, greenhouse gas. You have your zero reportables. So again, those pure chemicals, they'll tell you what pretty much when you look them up, they'll give you a lot of that information too. Okay. So that's the pure chemicals there, and you're going to use these if you want to speciate your streams. Okay. And we highly recommend that. If I come over here to chemical streams here, what I want to do is, as you can see, what I really like about this too, it actually shows you all the components that associated with those streams, right? So it gives you of course, this is the edit button. If you need to edit your stream, you can delete it. But if you delete it, remember, if it's speciated, like if I see here how many chemicals associated with this one right here, it has 2 chemicals there. That means I can't delete that, right? like it is now. So what I would have to do is go edit, and I would have to delete these two streams out, these two chemicals out. See, and now I'll be able to go back and delete that. Okay. So again, if it's associated with anything, I can't delete it. Also, if it's associated with any components, I can't delete it either. Now, this is what I really like about it. It shows you the components that's associated with these streams here. Active components associated with the stream name here. And as you can see, the zeros are not being used. So if you got a lot of zeros here, when you go into active components, that's not being used. They may be used in the future, but that's a question that you would have to ask. But keep in mind, whenever the technician's out in the field and they pull that pick list down, they'll see those ones with zeros on them too, not being used. So that can be a nuisance sometime. Okay. Um, but this is the browse button to browse those components that's associated with these streams. And this is where you're going to add uh, the chemicals to your composition here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add one. So let's do this. I'll click the plus sign here. And before I do that though, you can search for any of the streams. You can export this table if you need to. There's the little Excel exporter here. But if I click this little box here and I give it a stream, and remember, I'm not sure other application like Leak DOS predecessor, it just came by default. It just many versions prior to that too just came with the same stream, pure chemicals. Okay, so the stream name, I'm just going to do BTX. Okay, and stream description. And keep in mind too, when you're filtering under components, you can filter for the stream component stream or the stream description. And being that, having said that, I just make them the same. You know, you can put a little more descriptive information in here. It does have a little more character space, but when I'm filtering, I don't want to get confused. And I can spell it out: benzene, toluene, xylene, right here where the description is. But then I would have to filter for that. So I just make it simple: BTX. One, anything that I get in the field, any ppm reading I get in the field, it's going to be times one. So if I get a 10 ppm reading, it's going to come back 10 ppm. Okay. So go ahead and save that. So as it is now, I have my BTX stream here, right? Have my BTX stream, and I can actually add this to a component or components if I need to. And then that's all I need right now. Go out and monitor. If you want a chemical summary when you run your emissions calculator, you would have to have this speciated 100%. 100%. And as you can see, some of these are speciated 100% here. See that 100%. And when I run my emissions calculator, all the ones with 100%, I'll get an accurate chemical summary when I run that. If I don't have it speciated, like I run the calculator as it is now, it's just going to give me total of the BTX, right? It's just going to give me emissions, total VOC, but that's just going to be total VOCs, no chemicals that make up this stream here. Okay, so let's go ahead and speciate this stream 100%. So what I want to do is go ahead and browse. Go ahead and edit this button here. And what I want to do is add a new composition. Right. So I'm going to add it. Already has a stream ID number. So the first chemical I want is benzene. And you can just spell it out if you need to. Um, okay. Benzene, and then you can go ahead and where's benzene? Oh, greenhouse gas. Benzene, there it is. And the weight percent of benzene, I'm gonna go ahead and put in um, say 60%. That's what oh, that's what the process engineers mentioned to me. There's 60% of benzene in that stream. So I go ahead and save that. Okay. And there's 60%. So I need two more chemicals to make up BTX. It's toluene and xylene. So I'm going to go ahead and get the next add new composition. And I'm going to pick the toluene. You can just type it in. Put my glasses on so I can spell right correctly. And on this toluene, I'm going to go ahead and put in 20%. Okay. 20% weight percent, and go ahead and save that. So now I'm up to 80% here. So now I need 10% of xylene. So I add the next one, and I'll go ahead and put in my xylene. And I'm going to make it 100%, I'm going to go ahead and put in 10% and save that. Nope, 20%. Sorry about that. 20%, that's 40, it's 40, and then 60, so it's 100% speciated. So I'm going to go ahead and save that, save it, and close. But before I do that, you got other options too. If you want to make another stream, like similar to this one, maybe you go ahead and make copy, and there's another chemical in here that you need to add with less, weight percent, then you can do that too. Or you can import from another stream, yeah, you can import from another stream if you need to do that too, rather than adding all this stuff up again. You can do that. All right, so what I'm going to go do here is save it. And down here it says save was successful, right? So now when I go back here, I have the BTX here, and it's 100%. See that? It has three chemicals in it, and it's not associated with any components right now, but I can change that right quick. But as you can see, that's my chemical stream, and I've speciated it 100%. So let's do this too. Let's go over to, I already have components in quarantine. So once you get that done and added, you can actually go and globally add that to components. So I got 102 components in one. I got the whole unit. That's that BTX unit. I got all the components there now, and I want to add those at new stream to all those components in quarantine. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and select all, right click, and if you notice here under the filter, I had it set on edited. Okay. Just a little pointer there. And I'm gonna go ahead and select all. They're already on hold, as you can see. And I'm gonna do edit selected. And now I'm gonna come down to the stream section. Okay. There's a stream here. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that BTX stream right here. Okay. And then if I go back to the top, apply changes to selected records. Okay. So now when I go view this, let's just make sure that it has the BTX. So it has the new stream on it now, right? So now I can do the same thing, right click, unhold selected, yes, and then process those through. So that was quick and easy. Not only did I add a stream, but I was able to put them on the components that it needed to be on, not one at a time, but globally. Okay. So once that's done, then I can go back to the streams, and I'll look at BTX now. And there's BTX, and there's the 102 components associated with it now. See that? Now, if I go back over here and I want to look at those components, I just hit browse here and see how it has the BTX stream already filtered there. And I just hit retrieve. Okay. And it'll show me all my streams. And again, whatever you filter for stream, ST, see how it has the both there? So if I pick this one, I can just put in BTX, and I'm gonna put this one, I can put BTX. So it's up to you what you want to put in these two fields, but they represent the same table. But just be, like I got a BTX. I can put in BTX in any of those, and it'll pull up the same information. Okay. So again, I was able to do that. Now, one thing too is, of course, again, I mentioned you can export this information to, the whole table if you need to. It'll save it as a data grid, or when you under individual, when you under like edit. Let me go to BTX since we're talking about that one. BTX here. If I go to edit composition, there's an export here too. So if you just want to do the whole table, or you can do individual streams to just export to see what they are. You can actually export this, send it to the process engineer and say, hey, this is correct. This look good. If they give the okay, just let it stay like it is. Okay. Now, there is a report if you want to start. Now, again, as you can see, the adding of the stream is relatively easy. Just the name. But if you want to start out a little project and find out which ones are not speciated 100%, there is a report to do that. But remember, I talked about the zeros here. You may want to get rid of those. Sometimes they put them in there thinking, hey, they're going to be used in the future. That may be the case. So, like I said, it's up to you. You can leave them in there or put them back. They're very easy to put back if you need to. But it makes the little pick list a little shorter when the technician's out in the field adding components and selecting streams. But if I go into reports here and I go to reports and I go under emission calculations here, there's one here that says component streams with incomplete compositions. So this is one to run just to get you started on which ones you want to start speciating. Some may be easier. And I have one here called test RF. It just has 10%. And I have one called benzene. That's 0. Okay. So it may be just the stream, but you want to also do this too. If it's a stream name and you want to actually duplicate that and put it into the chemical table too. That way you can see the results on a chemical report. Because when you run, what I mentioned earlier, when you run this correlation equation unit summary, you'll get that BTX. It'll show BTX and how many tons or whatever the emissions is on it. But here, if I run this correlation equation chemical summary and I don't have those speciated, it won't be accurate. That's what I was talking about earlier. Okay. But if you had 100% speciated, you're going to get an accurate chemical summary. You can still run this one, but if you want to run both, you want to make sure that these are speciated 100%. And if I go back to that stream names here, you can easily go up here, total composition, and do the sort. And this is the one that we had zeros, like the report said, and this is the one I have 10% in right here. Okay. So again, you can put that information in. Okay. Anytime you need to edit any of these, you can do it. If I just hit edit composition here, I can easily change the name if I want to. If it's something different, I can do that. And if you want to abbreviate it and leave it benzene for the description here. And again, I can start adding the new streams here if I need to here. You can edit these if you need to. Like I said earlier too, let me go back one. See how this one is got 10% is not associated with any components, is 0, but it has one chemical in it, 10%. Remember, I can go under edit composition, delete that out if I'm no longer using that anymore, and go back here and go ahead and delete that stream out. Again, if it's associated with the chemical, it has any chemicals in it, pure chemicals, then you can't delete it. It's just a parent-child type constraint. But again, if you want to go in here and pick the ones, and also too, these could be kind of suspicious too. The ones, see like this one. So what that is saying is that I have this stream called DW, and if I go browse that, that's saying that stream is out there. Must be got. Let's see what it is anyway. So it's a valve. So it has to be blinded, a flange on each side, a blind flange on each side, and that's the chemical that's inside of it. That's what it's saying to me, right? So it may be associated with another stream, not off by itself. You know. So those are suspicious too. So take a look at that when you get a chance and see what the deal is here. We just check the question box here. Let's see. Can you question, can you associate a stream with more than one component and vice versa? Yes. One component with more than one stream. No, one stream per component. One stream per component. And that works with the emissions calculator. We do have a table that you can use, but it's not fit for purpose really. It's just a regular table. But if I go under, it's under configuration. You can under batch, you can put a batch stream there if you wanted to. So it's basically you could do two, but the only one works with the emissions calculator is the actual stream component stream. Let's see here. Okay. It mentions here if your stream is composition for a set of components changes throughout the year, like trolling facility, is there an easy way to change the stream composition associated with doing a specific time frame? No, not really. It's kind of like the batch service, and we don't support that very well. Um, we don't do that. Um, why would the chemical and unit summary, not match in an emission report in which the database has speciated streams? You may have to check the streams, the speciated streams. Make sure I'm imagining you saying that 100%. If they're 100%, they should match. So probably have to take a look at that. Um, Thank you for that question too. All the questions really pretty good. Yeah, whenever you run that, just take a look at, because normally they match when they're unless you got something like unknown in there. Whenever you speciating your let me go back to that configuration chemical stream and then stream name. Some individuals, if I go like to edit composition here, they would have like in earth or unknown to make up the 100%. Sometimes that would throw it off a little bit, but not much. You still have, it should be pretty close though. If it's off, let us know. If there's a big gap, let us know. But for the most part, it should match. But again, it has to be 100% to get an accurate chemical summary. Other than that, it runs fine with just a stream name. That's the required field that it needs to have, but it only requires a stream speciation if you want to get an accurate chemical summary when you run the emissions calculator at the beginning of the year. Okay. All right, let's see. Good, perfect. All right. I think I covered everything for this little short session. Uh, I think hopefully you guys are using the new UI. because everything, just while I'm talking here, everything that's new that's coming out will be under the new UI. So all the stuff that they're adding will be under this one. And to get to it, see the little slider over here at the top right? Slide that over to the right, and you'll get this view of the new UI. Okay. I think I covered everything. Thank you again for being with us this afternoon. Any more questions? If there aren't, yeah, the unknown stream will show up. Yeah. Uh, let's see here. Is this session recorded? Yes, it's recording now. So I'll stop it and I'll send it to you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being with us this afternoon. Appreciate it. Well, you guys stay warm and we'll see you on the support line and the training. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.